Robbo.
No, don't say Robbo to me. You say Mambo VP.
Who's he? What's that? Your new centre forward? Hello,
people of the East, forgive me. We are at the eve of.
Tonight.
Listen, we're at the eve of.
It's literally
the biggest,
water.
Well, go on, Robbo. Tell me.
We can't get the staff, can we? We're at the eve of one of the biggest sporting spectacles this weekend. So I say Mambo VP, and you're asking me if he's my new centre forward.
Yeah, I thought it was a new player that you bought from somewhere.
So clearly, Ernie has not done any research on the AFCONs. Welcome along. It's the Fixture show Friday night. Crystal Davis in the house, Daddy Ernie, and we have two special guests also. We've got a few special guests. We might as well just bring in our team nice and early.
Before we go, Robbo, you know, we have to pay homage to the greatest black actor ever. Sir Sidney Poitier, who sadly passed away, I do believe it was today, of Bohemian Extract. And I'll never forget as a youth watching, you know, they talk about Virgil Tibbs in The Heat of the Night. But when he kissed, I forget who it was, some white woman.
Probably one of your girlfriends, one of your exes.
Yeah, you wish. To Sir With Love. To Sir With Love. I think it was the first time that a black man kissed a white woman on screen, and in the early 60s.
Well, didn't they go around to Harrow Leisure Centre where you grew up? Like,
no.
You mean on screen? I thought you said on stage.
On screen. And in America in the 60s, that was you know what I mean, you couldn't even breathe near him, and Sidney just walks on and plant one big kiss panel. People wanted to stop. Crystal, you weren't born then.
Weren't even.
I actually remember that film. Was it black and white? It was a black and white film.
Man, black and white, man. Yeah, black and white film. You know what I mean? Everybody remembers The Heat of the Night with Virgil Tibbs and all that, but from he started, there was just something about Sidney Poitier that nobody. I don't even think even Sinatra had that kind of poise and demure on stage like Sidney.
What about Denzel Washington?
No, man. Denzel is our boy at the moment, but Sidney, when we talk about duds of all time,
jeez,
it's the duds of all time.
He was a very smooth actor, but I only remember Heat of the Night. I remember that film as a film that I can remember really strong because it was a film that was dealing with civil rights and he was a bad actor. But one of my good colleagues who was a radio DJ always said he used to he's one of the elders, Trevor Nelson once said, he said to me, "Do you read books, Robbo?" And I said, "Yeah, sometimes comics." Stuff like that. And he said, I'm reading a book about Sidney Poitier. And that's when it kind of dawned on me that the guy was more than just an actor. But obviously growing up, you know, them man are just big time, some big actors from black and white films and what have you. But he was an amazing character, and he obviously made a lot of the transition, what we see now with black actors. He was kind of
He started it, bro. He started it. There's no ifs, buts, or maybes about that. He started it and transcended it through.
Well, for all you young youths out there, Sidney Poitier, R.I.P. Remember, go and check him out. He's more than just an actor. As I said, there was a lot of things that he did at the time where wasn't normal to Hollywood, but this guy just normalized the whole place. You know what I mean?
Man, definitely.
Edu, you don't remember Sidney Poitier, Edu? Yeah, what you know about Sidney Poitier?
Yo, man, I know about Sidney Poitier, man.
You only know about Nigerian movies, man.
Yo, man, I know about that too, man. Get out of here, man.
Who would
Get out of here, man.
Who would be the equivalent of Sidney Poitier in Kenya? What your neck of the woods to do?
Oof. Eric probably would be able to tell me that.
Oh, Eric. Hello, Eric.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Who would be the equivalent of Sidney Poitier in your neck of the woods right now?
Wow. Hey,
What's his name?
I have to throw it back again to the Edu. I think he's the most probably.
It's disgraceful. You guys don't know any of them top Nigerian, them top actors, man.
What's his name? He was in The Blacklist. You know The Blacklist, the series Blacklist?
On it's on what do you call it again?
Netflix.
Yeah, The Blacklist. It was there before. I think he's one of the most prominent ones, but most people don't even know he's actually Kenyan because he plays all these. Yeah,
I thought you were gonna say Idris Elba. I was gonna say, get out of here, man. Get out of here.
And female-wise, unless we go Lupita Nyong'o, that's kind of like our biggest.
Oh yeah,
yeah, Claire winner.
We know her. Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
But anyway, it's not about acting. It's the fixture list and center stage. It's the African Cup of Nations, which Robbo. Would you like to introduce that bit again, Robbo, that you did when we first started?
What bit?
That bit that you said that I never done my research.
Oh, Mambo VP. No, that was just me saying hello to my fans and friends over in the East because I know the East is on it. So, you know what I mean? They're my peeps. But obviously, Eric Najiru, one of our journalists and broadcasters on Homeboys Radio. The man causes the most trouble on that radio station.
Yo, Robbo, hold up. There's no name like Njiru, fam. It's Njiru. It's one name. NJ is one thing. Njiru.
Eric's never told me I can't call him Njiru.
No, it's one. It's one thing. It's Njiru.
Njiru.
Are you gonna? It's you combine the N to the J. You pretend you're gonna pronounce the N, but you don't actually pronounce it, and you go straight to the J. Njiru. Yeah, there you go.
Njiru.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh man, yo.
Njiru.
Hey, so
welcome to the family.
Hey, so when I lock off my part of Ruwai, you're gonna tell me say it's wrong as well?
No, that's all right.
That's fine.
We're getting some lessons here.
Yeah, go on, Robbo.
Listen, one thing press the likes. How it go, Robbo? Do it for the love. Do it for the likes. Squeeze the likes.
Boy, that's my ding dong dance. Listen, hit those like buttons, like and subscribe. It really does help us. I know a lot of YouTubers say that and it sounds like it's cliche, but it's actually true. You see, if you're watching the show and you press that like button, it throws it out so that more people can see the show. Because they're like, well, what go on, sir? What's really happening? Who are these dudes? And then it drops it in YouTube space. And on Facebook, of course, all you got to do is share. Do that share. Do the share move, Ernie.
Share.
Yeah. That's like.
Share.
No, that's your chair. Listen, man, by the time I finish it, Ernie's going to dash away the green screen phone and he's going to be up to the time. Listen, guys, welcome along. Before we talk about Africa Cup of Nations, man, the players that are currently in the English Premier League, there's going to be a few obviously missing, and there's a few players that just decided that they wanted to go missing. I want to talk about quickly because we didn't get a chance to talk about it on Sunday, but I went to the game at Chelsea. I was looking for Lukaku. Nobody could find Lukaku. Then Lukaku turns up on Monday with this piece of groveling apology, which I'm sure, Eric, I'm sure it didn't look good over your side, the piece of groveling from Lukaku to get back in the team. But Tuchel wasn't having it. Tuchel's like, if you want to get back in the side, get on your knees. On your knees. And he was back in the side. How does it look from your side, Eric?
Well, from my side, from the Kenyan perspective, is that the Chelsea fans are pissed. They don't understand how they paid so much money for this guy. I think 97.5 million pounds. He's supposed to be the main man. He's supposed to be getting the goals. The defenders are scoring more than him. And then all he does is whining about the system, about Tuchel, about Chelsea. So they don't understand how a person who is supposed to be the key guy, the main man, the main guy, is not delivering and is now whining and making noise. So I can see Chelsea fans down here, they were really pissed and they were ready to let him go. They are probably moved on, we can say that. Because if you look at the last couple of weeks or months, he's not been delivering really well for that cash, for that money, and 7.5 million pounds. So I think Chelsea fans, they were for him, like not even playing again for the club. But I do think right now they're forgiven him and they're ready to go again.
Well, I was outside when I was coming out of the ground. I was with my son and we were packed really tight trying to get out of the ground, and the police was, forcing us to wait to get onto the train. And I was beside some rancid Chelsea fans, and he looked at me and looked at his mate and he went, that Lukaku guy, that Lukaku, get out of our club. I don't want him back in our club. And my son looked at me because he was like, I know, is that? Because I was about to say, you own any club? You don't look Russian to me. But obviously, they're hardcore Chelsea fans. But they were saying, don't want him back. Nah, can't come back. Never back in our club. I'm Crystal. You obviously have that situation with Aubameyang where there's some hardcore Arsenal fans. Don't want him back in our club.
Ain't coming back, is it?
Yeah, don't want him back. Don't want him back. He's not in our club. Could you see the similar treatment coming? It's already started with Aubameyang.
What, as in Arsenal fans said they're saying that they don't want him here?
Don't want him back in the club. Don't want him back. You know what I mean? Don't want him back.
No, I don't think so, because he's done it before. Remember, like I said last week, this is not the first time that Aubameyang has received a slap on the wrist. Its only difference is this one isn't a slap on the wrist; it's a complete shutout.
In the face.
In the nuts.
Where we've seen on occasions where he's been flagged by Mikel Arteta. I think one of the most clear and obvious flagging that he got from Arteta was when he showed up late for the North London derby, and you're the club captain, you don't show up for no game, especially your North London derby, and he faced some backlash for that. I think it's different though with Lukaku, because Lukaku, like I said on last week's show, he hasn't even been there for 6 months yet. That doesn't mean he isn't entitled to complain if something isn't working for him, being in mind that it is his 9 to 5. He has all rights to complain, but maybe it's just a case of time and place. And I think it's one of those things where you don't air out your dirty laundry. Whatever you have to say about the system or the coach, the manager, whatever it may be, you could say that behind closed doors. You don't need to do it in an unauthorized interview. So I think that's probably where you can kind of like differentiate between Lukaku and Aubameyang. It's slightly different situations that they found themselves in. And also, like I said last week, the clear and obvious difference with Lukaku and why people find his comments so distasteful or more so disrespectful.
I didn't find it that bad, personally.
No, but there are people, the people that you're alluding to who they're from a certain demographics, the one that are saying get out of my club, and they belong to they belong to a demographics who are pretty much stuck in the old-fashioned way of the UK. Like the UK is an old-fashioned country with respect to the country, but they're set in their ways. They like to do things in according to their books. It's not like in America where you have athletes speaking their mind and fans embracing it because it's transparency and so on. So it's an interesting topic, but it's not as bad as people are making it out to be.
Ernie, you're an old-fashioned guy. If Harry Kane didn't want to play for your team, would you say, get out of that club, get out? Because Harry Kane...
I'd be saying that. I'm saying that, and he ain't even there.
No, but I know you stretched the Harry Kane conversation at early part of the season because he was like, I don't want to play for the club, and they were saying nobody at Tottenham was saying get out of our club. Well, go on.
As far as I'm concerned, mate, if he was at OT, I wouldn't want him there. So I'd definitely be saying the computer says no. You know what I mean?
Get out.
But I'll be saying get out of my club. I don't want him there. I'd have to get on a Manc accent though, but because I'm from the London division, like Edu from the London division of the Old Trafford regime.
London Red Top, huh?
Mind you, Edu would have him there. Last time,
Oh,
you
man.
have him there.
Nah, man.
You wouldn't have Harry Strain there.
Ace, I mean, I don't know. The game has changed so much. Players have so much power. They're being given so much power, and they're acting like, oh, it's all babies now. Everyone's being babied. You can't criticize a player. You can't give an opinion without, look at the Man United dressing room as we're speaking at this point in moment. Everything is in disarray. You cannot even have an opinion
I know
on a player.
I know it's Fred Locks. Daddy Fred Locks was giving his opinion, but he was like, yo, count me out, bro. I'm happy. Luke Shaw was like, we ain't happy. Yeah. And Fred Locks was going, I'm happy. Yeah, but going on like he was the nerds, bro.
Yeah, but if you deep it, it is very unfortunate with our team because we have given a voice to the losers. Because you look at the people who are making the most noise or who are not happy now. They're those people who've been shifted from their positions who are not playing, who feel they have a right to play. I mean, I can count the usual suspects. Maguire, relegated 4 times, twice in one season with 2 teams. The only football player to ever have done that. I mean, he's won nothing in football, 0. Yeah. The only time they won a match is when he wasn't playing. I think it was at Sheffield when they were playing a playoff match. And they won that, and they only brought him in to fill in the space. He's lost everything he's ever been in. I mean, if you go down to Luke Shaw has
never won nothing. And all the 3 seasons we won, the 3 cups we won, that was the League Cup, European Cup, he was either on crutches or on the bench. So he never played. McTominay actually came in about 4 years and 355 days ago. And ever since he started playing regularly, we haven't won anything. I mean, these are damning statistics, and these are the people who are leading the club, who are being seen as, United DNA. So if somebody who's never won anything is telling you, let's go left, Robo, you look at a man and you be like, yo, come on, man, move. And I think that's where our problem is. We have people who are losers telling winners, oh, yeah, you need to, and they're club favorites, and it's the British tax. We're actually the Ollie tax, leftover Ollie tax.
There's a lot of moving. So Chelsea fans have a way of doing it. Tottenham fans have a way. Man United have a fans way. I know how they do it on the continent of Africa when they need you to go.
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here. Get out of here, man. I'm saying.
Get out of here, man.
Well, listen, we have
really, Robo.
Man, there's a late laughter because I'm just watching the man's face. Trying to be serious, but every time I see that dude's face, because that rant carries on, right? Edu?
Yeah, it does, man.
And on. Get out of here! Now I'm saying.
You don't know, man.
You know what I'm saying. So, listen, guys, if you're out there and you're watching, drop your comments. We'd love to hear what your thoughts are with anything that's happened. FA Cup weekend as well. Who cares? I think Ernie's traditional. So, Ernie, you must care.
Well, not really. I mean, there's the big game. If we lose against Aston Villa on Monday, I think that is the end of the season, man. I think the heads are going to more than roll. They're going to be off the hook. I can't even contemplate us losing, because what happened during the week against Wolves was always on the cards, that they would snatch a late thing as long as they could keep in the game, right? But to lose to Aston Villa in the 3rd round of the FA Cup would be certain disaster.
Is it curtains
Coutinho.
for? Is it curtains for?
Yeah, Coutinho.
Rolls
Philippe Coutinho is making a debut.
Yeah, I know that. Robbo's probably happy about that because I think Coutinho is going to do good.
Is he eligible to play against your Man United?
Yeah, well, that's what they said. They said he is.
You sure?
They said
he could get work permit by Monday. The game is on Monday.
Okay.
No, they said he'd be eligible to play.
And they already beat us. They beat us
on the weekend. They still play United again.
Pardon?
On the weekend, they play Man United again.
Yeah, I think he'd be ready for the other game. I don't even think they'd bring him for the FA Cup. I don't think he'd get a work permit as that quick. Unless the deal was done, guys. Behind, we don't know, but the deal was already done. Because Gerrard was alluding on Wednesday that Ain't happening. Ain't happening. So maybe the deal was done already. So we don't know.
Robert, do you mind if I backtrack quickly with Daddy Ernie about the FA Cup? I'm just wondering, is this Daddy Ernie, or is Daddy Ernie speaking behalf of the entire Manchester United fan base? Because if my memory serves me well, I believe Man U have won the FA Cup 13 times. So if they don't care, 13 times, just one less than Arsenal. Arsenal won it 14 times. So is it Manchester United fans now just saying that they don't care about the FA Cup because history obviously?
I'm not saying that we don't care about it.
What are you saying, man?
I'm saying that if we lose against Aston Villa, it'd be total disaster. What do you say, Eddie? What do you think?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, and also you look back in recent history, they beat us 1-0. They snatched a win. Yeah. So I'm not very comfortable, and with the disarray, and I'm very unsure because it all depends on the team that's put out.
Are you nervous, Edu? You sound nervous.
I am very nervous because I mean, when you have a team in disarray, like you were saying, once people start to air their dirty laundry, it affects the chemistry of the team.
Yeah.
You can put 11 players out and they're not a team, and these guys just come together. Cup games, it's a one-off. They can do you in the cup games. Yeah, it's a one-off, so I am very wary, especially with the team that will be picked. The team that he puts out is what will give me confidence. But if he plays the usual, culprits, but at least Maguire's out, so I'm happy.
Yeah, we're happy.
As long as Maguire's out, I'm happy. At least that's the only hope.
You go with Phil Jones?
And that our team has hit rock bottom when Phil Jones, who hasn't played for 2 years, comes back and is man of the match. You already know. Really, Robbo?
Phil Jones, man. It's Phil Jones, the comeback king. I'm
glad you're applauding him, Robbo.
Yeah. I do.
I'm really happy about that.
Eric, Steven Gerrard, manager of Aston Villa. He wants it. He wants that game, right?
Yeah, man. Look, there's that history between Gerrard and Man United, and he's going all out. He knows that United won't play their best 11. They won't play Cristiano. They won't play Sancho. They won't play De Gea. They're going to play their team too, and they knows. Look at Man City. They're playing right now, and they play their best team.
1-0 right now, Man City.
Obviously, they know they cannot win the Premier League, and obviously there's a small chance of winning the FA Cup, but they know they can go as far as they can. So I do think Steven Gerrard knows and is aware that there's a big chance for them to punish Man United, who are not looking good right now, like Edu said.
When is the game with Aston Villa? When is that game?
Monday.
5:30.
Hold on a minute. Hold on.
Hold up.
They put that match on at 7:55 on Monday. The only game on Monday, Man United.
Yo, you guys play on Mondays. Last week but one.
Well, they're going to be Monday and Thursday.
So, yeah,
Monday and Thursday.
That is 10:55 p.m. in Kenya.
Crazy. That is crazy. Well, I mean, we can talk about the FA Cup a little bit later on, but obviously what we want to talk about today is the tournament. We've had to wait since 2019. It's back. The AFCON, that is the prize everybody's after. The trophy currently held by
Algeria.
Eric. Bro. They went hard. They went hard on Senegal.
Algeria.
Senegal huffed and puffed and obviously Mane was playing. I couldn't understand what the hell was going on. Koulibaly was playing like a man mountain. They just couldn't get the job done, and Algeria took the trophy against all odds. But this year, obviously, there's 5 teams that could take that trophy. It's not a given, but there's 5 teams that are, could just really walk to the final and take it. How does the betting look from Kenya, who are not there?
I mean, if we look at the situation, there are, like you said, up to 5 countries that can win it. Group A, Cameroon, they're at home. The home advantage is a big thing in the Africa Cup of Nations. Yeah. If you play well, you're at home. I mean, you have a chance to go all the way to the final. Look at Group B, Senegal there. They have the best squad in Africa now as far as the world players are concerned. Mane, Koulibaly, all those guys. Group C, Morocco.
They got the Senegal's got the Hollywood. Senegal and Nigeria's got the Hollywood squads.
Yeah, Group C, Morocco. Don't sleep on them yet. Ghana still they have a good squad. I know they've not won in like 40 years, but every single time they play in the Africa Cup of Nations, they are favorites.
They can. Ghana can take out any team on any given day.
And Group D is where it is now. Two big teams, Nigeria and Egypt. Whoever comes out on top, I do think has a chance to go all the way to the final. Mohamed Salah versus Nigeria. Look at Group E, Algeria, the champions. They play exciting. I watched them the day before yesterday. That was on Wednesday. They played Ghana. They beat them 3-0.
3-0, man. And team had Partey and had all these people.
Doesn't Group E looks like a easy group for Algeria though?
I think so.
Ivory Coast, bro.
Ivory Coast.
Ivory Coast are not going. They're not great guns right now.
Ivory Coast, look, they're not going to the World Cup. They're not going for the qualifiers. That tells you a lot. They were not good in the qualifiers. They're still trying to get these new guys to play together. Wilfred Zaha, Nicolas Pepe, Eric Bailly.
Yeah, Tunisia's can be a tough nut to crack as well.
Yeah, Tunisia and Mali are being considered the dark horses.
Yeah. I'm not looking at none of those two. I mean, hang on. I am looking at Nigeria. For me, I'm looking at Nigeria and Senegal, I think.
Yeah, Robo, as per stats, according to Opta, Nigeria could win the Cup of Nations this year. That is according to the stats, as per how they qualified, the players they have. So stats do back them, but obviously, as they say, stats are not everything.
Yeah, they have a very strong sort. Did Igalo, was he included? Because they were trying to get him to leave.
Igalo, there's an issue. Igalo, when he said his contract with that Saudi Arabian club, the contract says that he can't play for Nigeria while playing for that club. So they can't release him.
So they're not going to release him.
Exactly, it's in the contract.
They got Il Nacho and Victor Asemi. Nigeria's loaded. And now they've just included in their team one of Ernie's favorite players, Dennis.
Emmanuel. Dennis.
Is he going? I thought the last thing he wasn't going.
He was going.
Ranieri said he isn't going.
Ranieri ain't no chat. You want him to do a Lukaku? Don't play with me, son.
But let me tell you guys.
Play for Robbo?
Watford, yeah, Dennis.
Okay.
I don't think he's going, man. Ranieri said he isn't going.
He wasn't. Which I think, that's another subject that I think is absolutely diabolical. I don't care if the clubs pay their main wages. I mean, could you really imagine Sugar Strain, Conte saying to Sugar Strain, you can't go to the World Cup for England?
Daddy, let me tell you, the issue with Dennis goes back to Nigeria. Nigeria had a manager whom they fired last Christmas. So this manager provided a provisional list for the players going to the Cup of Nations. And when they did that, they did not include Dennis. The rules say you have to talk to the clubs in advance early enough. So Watford, they have a case to argue. So when the new manager came, he said, look, I'm going to carry Dennis. But the deadline had passed. Watford were like, you never submitted the name, so we can't release him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So would FIFA, would there be a problem with FIFA and Watford, like Dennis?
I think if they go to FIFA, Watford will win that case.
Oh, okay.
The Nigerian president, the football president this week, I do think, admitted saying that the mistake was there, so they have to deal with it.
Yeah. Looking sticky there, but I still think Nigeria has all the guns to win that final. Now, Crystal, you sent me this image. I don't know if Crystal sent me this because she just likes the dress code, or I think she actually sent me the image because she knew it was a private jet, and that's kind of her style when she goes to Jamaica. Look at those bad boys.
Ooh. That's similar to what they wore. Where did they come through? A green and white. Was it the World Cup? When all of them was in green and white.
Oh, would have been Nigeria, right? You're talking about.
Yeah, who's this?
This is Senegal.
Man United.
Because of my name.
Man United, Ernie.
Oh, is that Senegal? Oh, is that
This is Liverpool. This is Liverpool.
It's Liverpool. It's Liverpool's under 23s.
Yeah, I just see Mane there in the middle. Yeah, I just see Mane there in the middle.
Crystal, what's with this?
Yeah.
What's with this image? What's going on? That looks like they don't look like the tournament players. They look like they're going to a dance.
Yeah,
that's it. It's enriched in culture and heritage, and that's one of the things that I love about the AFCON is the fact of the matter is the players embrace their culture, embrace their heritage with every given opportunity. I think in most cases with football on an international level, you expect the players to come out in their traditional, perhaps
tracksuits.
Exactly, your tracksuits. It's just so boring. But with the AFCON, you always have to give them praise for putting respect on their culture. That's one thing that you always see with them. Culture comes first. Culture, religion, and family comes first above everything else, and obviously doing their nation proud. So that's one of the things I always look out for AFCON, the attire, because they always just get it right down to the T. It's beautiful to see.
And the
Even
celebration.
the supporters had a tremendous.
It's lovely.
I reckon Ernie, being once a Rasta man, used to have lots. I reckon Ernie would be in this crowd. Come on, Ernie. I know who Ernie's supporting right now. Come on, Ernie. That's your crowd, isn't it, Ernie? Come on, you
color, man.
burning
Ethiopia,
spears.
Yeah, man.
Come
Ethiopia.
on, Ernie.
Telling you.
Where do you think they get into Ernie? Are you studying the fixtures? Here's your team.
Yeah.
If we done one of them sweepstakes, that would be, you'd pull Ethiopia.
Well,
Rasta man like you.
I think they'll get out the group. They'll get out the group. Ethiopia will get. Well,
Right.
Cameroon, yeah, man. Cameroon and Ethiopia are that I can't see Cape Verde and what's that? Burkina Faso. No, they
Burkina Faso, they have this guy from Aston Villa, Bertrand Traore.
Yeah, there's another player there as well in Burkina Faso. Another top player. You know what? I haven't got my thing with me, but they have got another very, very strong player who plays in Europe over at Burkina Faso. These teams, man. When you look through the squad depth,
yeah,
man, some of these teams are loaded. I was just seeing the other day an image come up that obviously Basuma's gonna be at the AFCON.
For Mali. Yes.
Yeah. And Frank at AC Milan.
Frank Kessie.
Yes. Two of the most sought after midfielders right now in the world. You're going to be able to see what they do in the AFCON. No manager holding them back. Do your job. Get out of our club.
Yeah, none of that.
When you watch these guys play, man, you know it's definitely a window for clubs. They watch the AFCONs and you'll see all these players be diced and divided up, ending up at new clubs after. I mean, there's a few players that's going to be at clubs. I mean, a couple of Arsenal players there.
Party after party.
Party after party. Osimhen there. And Mo Salah.
Aubameyang has COVID. He tested
COVID
positive for
Aubameyang.
COVID.
He's missing the first game, right? The first game for Gabon, right?
Yeah, he'll be absent from that game, so he's unfortunately contracted COVID.
How would you rate the African Nations Cup, right? In flair and entertainment against something like the Euros?
Who's that question to? I'll ask Eric.
Yeah, anyone. Yeah, anybody who wants to take it up. You know, because we all watched the Euros. And I mean, for flair and color and style and entertainment,
you just can't beat Poland, innit? I fell asleep watching Poland. I think Poland and Scotland.
Well, I think
you know,
a different situation looking at Africa and South America. I think the most entertainment is in South America and North America as far as they're concerned. I do think that's why you get like that exciting matches. And Europe, it's more obviously about business. And Africa, we can't say we're in the same level as Europe and South America, but there's obviously that African style of of play, like that way you get to enjoy the local football. It's not as expansive and wide like European, the way you enjoy that quick, like progressive and high pressing games. So yeah, in Africa, I think it's a bit chilled. So it's not like that quick game like in Europe and where we see the flair now in South America. So I can say this entertainment obviously in South America, and there's high expectation in Europe. But in Africa, I do think it's a bit slower, but still we get to enjoy now seeing our local players and playing in African way. There's not too much pressure. I do think it's a league on its own.
Yeah, I think it's very entertaining in that you'll see very weird hairstyles. You will see a lot of celebrations from the players when they do score, and when you go to the crowds, they are normally very mixed up. I know when it's England playing Poland, it's very segregated, but you find these guys all mix up and all just sit together. It's very different in that sense, and also the players are freer in that it's more because football is learnt on the streets, so it's more about embarrassing the opponent as opposed to having a footballing structure like 4-2-2-2-2-2-2-2-2-2. It's more like you more entertaining the crowd and oles and doing all these things, all these tricks. You get a lot of entertainment from that. That's why all the scouts are pretending not to watch it, but there's so many scouts down there when you go to any of these Africa Cup of Nations. But this one is going to be different because of COVID, and only about, I think I read about 3% of the population being vaccinated in the 26 million strong Cameroon. There's going to be less people coming to the stadium, so the atmosphere is going to be slightly chilled this year.
I went to Cup of Nations, Ghana.
Yeah, I remember, Grobo. We went Ghana.
We were there. Yeah,
we went Ghana. Yes,
Cup of Nations, Ghana, and I was somebody mugged me of my wallet and my camera, but it was
they could smell you.
No, somebody mugged me of
they
my.
They can smell you from far. They're like,
honestly,
I'm not from
I
yard.
was in the crowd and I was celebrating. Can't remember who was in the final. I think it was Morocco. Morocco won, and I thought, this is a nice place to celebrate. Let me celebrate. And as you said, the terraces was mixed. So fans of who were they playing? Was it Ivory Coast they played in the final? Yeah, but anyway, my wallet went, and my camera went, and it was the best mugging I ever had. I enjoyed myself. I was like, well, else on the one, take it. It was not, and I thought to myself, do you know what? Whoever took my wallet and whoever took my Canon camera, they deserve it. It was a good pickpocket. It was just it was one of the best football experience I've ever gone to. And I came back and obviously it was early 2000s. Cup of Nations it's been around since the 70s, I suppose. But Cup of Nations is in terms of a big tournament. It was like the mixed crowd was amazing, and you see that right throughout the tournament. No one's like, get out of my seat, get out of my club. It's like it's an amazing vibe. That year Morocco won, and it was in Ghana, and there was a few people that weren't happy that the Moroccans won, and we still got this vibe, this chilly little vibe now, because obviously Algeria beat Senegal, and
yes.
the Arab nations, they hold their own in the Cup of Nations, but there's still a frosty vibe, right?
The reason why I don't jump on this Nigerian, Senegal, and Ghanaian wave, because they have those stars who play in the UK, play in Spain, play in Italy, in France, the big leagues. One thing about African football is that defense wins you AFCON. If you do look at the results that we get in AFCON, it's mostly 1-0, 1-1, 0-0, 2-0.
Yeah.
They're not those big scores, and that tells about the defense. Number two, it's about how long you've played together. The reason why those North African and the Arabs do perform well, Egypt, Algeria, Tunisia, Morocco, is because most of these players, if you look like Egypt, apart from Mohamed Salah, Trezeguet, El Neni, and probably two other players,
playing
the rest of the guys play in Egypt or in North Africa.
The same team, man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the cohesion of playing together, I do think is going to help a lot of teams in the Cup of Nations. And that's why, like you said, the Arabs they know their thing. If you look at the last couple of winners, probably from 2006, you can see 70% it's North Africans, so it's the Arabs.
Yeah.
Don't you think playing at home together and playing together for quite a while helps you a lot?
Yeah. I mean, what's your view with the Arab nations? There's still a vibe with the Arab nations at the Cup of Nations, because, as I said, I was in the stadium and Ghana wasn't in the final, but everybody was just kind of supporting their team. But after the celebrations, it was like, bloody hell, there's Moroccans again. It had that vibe about it. Is that still there in the atmosphere with Cup of Nations, Eric?
Well, I think so. If you look at the last time Egypt hosted and Algeria won, I do think they were really happy. And if you look at the World Cup qualifiers, when you send 5 teams, you'll find like 3 or 4 teams are Arabs team. And probably now, like this year, we're going to see probably Senegal and one more team from West Africa. The rest are from the Arabs nation. So they still got the vibe. They know how to win these things. I mean, there's a time Egypt won it 3 times in a row. I think.
Yeah.
2006 and 8 and
2006, 8 and 10. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's like they know 1 or 2 things on how to win this thing. They need to teach us Kenyans.
Did I say? I said Morocco. It was Egypt. That was the fight. Edu.
Yeah,
should have corrected me. It was Egypt.
Egypt.
Oh, I remember that final. Yes.
Yeah,
Your mate
Egypt.
Mo Salah.
No, this was
Mo Salah's not there.
Mo Salah wasn't there.
Okay.
2010. It was Egypt.
In fact, they were the most unknown and unlikely because they didn't have any superstars, but they were playing as a team because the whole team had come from the whole team had come from Egypt, and these guys were playing like it was telepathic. You remember when Arsenal done the and you know when they were the unbeatables back in the day, yeah. That kind of football, it was proper flowing, man. And when you sit in that stadium, like just at the halfway line on the second tier, and you can see one team is really playing good football, you can see they have a chemistry going, and one team is full of superstars, and no one knows what to do. It's almost like everyone's depending on one player to do what, you know, they're like, you know, it's all like, yo, come on, run down the line, cut down 6, 7 men and score. That's what's happening with the other team. But these guys are so cohesive. They defend as a team and attack as a team. That's what the North Africans are very good at. It's
terrible. I forgot that it was in Ghana, and the runners up was Ghana.
Yeah.
But it was a celebration, even though Egypt had won the final. But I remember Michael Essien at the time was I think he was, I don't know if he was captain of Ghana at the time. Yeah. I can say Michael Essien threw a great party that night in Ghana. He had to throw a party.
Yeah, of course.
He knows how to throw a party.
Yeah, but I think the I don't know what it is, that the divide has been there from very long ago. Because even when you look back at certain events, other musical events, like with the music, like with Spotify and all these things, you find that Spotify Arabic covers North Africa. So there's this sub-Saharan divide when it comes to very many other things, and we only come together during sports. So there's this thing where people have an inkling to like, yo, these guys are not really African. They're only African when it suits them. Yeah. So in very many other aspects of African life, they're more connected to Saudi Arabia, Oman, United Arab Emirates, you know. Egypt is kind of like their capital, like their Hollywood.
The Arab nations play their own tournament as well, don't they, Eric? They have their own tournament as well, right?
There's a tournament that was brought up by FIFA last year actually, Arab Cup. And they're playing in Qatar. I think they were testing the facilities for this year's World Cup. And I think they were happy to play their cup. Like they felt now they're playing against each other. And like now they have to play the rest of Africa. Yeah, like Edu says, if you argue with some Egyptians, they tell you Mohammed Salah is not African, but he's Africa. They're in Africa. They have to accept it.
There was a time
Morocco tried to live.
Yeah, tried to be part of Europe because from France, you can actually see Morocco. If you're a good swimmer, but you can swim. Yeah, you can actually see. Yeah, actually from Spain. Yes, I beat Spain. You can actually see Morocco, the shores of Morocco. Africa, they tried to be, European, and they were like, nah. That's all to go back. Get out of here, man. Get out of our continent. Get out of our club. Get out of here.
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here. Get out of here, man. I'm saying.
Salah said, no, I'm African. I am African. And then
remember Moroccans had the audacity to ask Africans to support them in their bid to host the World Cup. They wanted to host the World Cup, I think, 2026.
Yeah.
And now they were bidding like Africans.
So listen, guys, the 2015 was won by Ivory Coast. I'm pretty sure Drogba was around at that time.
No, he was not.
Wasn't it
he wasn't.
Drogba?
He left the year before. It was Yaya Toure, the captain.
Yeah.
Was would Will Saha would have been playing in 2015 as a young player? Or was
No,
he
No, I
still
think that was still chasing his English dream.
No,
Yeah.
yeah. Before, in the English
2015? I'm saying.
I think he was back at what's his name by then, isn't he?
Wilfred Zaha.
Yeah, he wasn't playing for the Ivory Coast then.
Yeah, he was still in England.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 2015, just a short. Obviously, we've had this pause because of COVID, but 2015 was Ivory Coast. 2017 Cameroon, and of course the last tournament
Algeria.
2019 Algeria. So I mean, the cup, apart from where Egypt dominated for free on a spin, this cup gets shared out a lot. It gets shared out a lot. Eric, time for you to just tell us, who do you think is going to win the Cup of Nations?
Well, I think we really don't have like one single team that we can say they are the outright favorites. Yes, you can say Senegal are like number one in the world as far as Africa is concerned because of the stars they have and how they played last time out in 2019. I do think they are up there alongside Algeria. And now because of the other players that are in the teams and how the qualifiers were, we can now add the likes of Egypt, Ghana, Nigeria. So I think up to 5 teams, they have a chance.
Yeah, but I'm telling you to throw your hat on it now.
My hat?
Yeah, throw your hat on that winner right now.
Who I want to win?
Yeah. No, who do you want?
Salah
Who
to
will win? Who do you think will win?
I do think Senegal are going to win it, but I want Man Salah to win it.
Okay.
So you
Ernie,
want Salah to play for?
Ernie obviously doesn't want Egypt to win because he's
Eddie,
a Mo fan.
I want
Well,
Salah to win Ballon d'Or next year. This year.
I
I
would
mean,
like.
you've watched it. You know some of the players, Ernie. Who do you think like could be that winner of the Cup of Nations?
You know, I'd like to see Cameroons win the Cup of Nations. Ever since they were robbed against England in the World Cup, right? When I think Lineker or something like that got a penalty in like the 110th minute.
Get out of here, man.
Well, maybe not. Maybe the 110, maybe 102nd minute. But ever since then, I've just fallen in love with Cameroons. Was there
Roger
their
Miller.
nickname, Black? Yeah,
Was
the
it?
Black.
Oh, I thought we were going to say, what's their player, Roger Miller? I think he still plays for them now.
No,
Samuel
Was-
Eto'o.
was
The
there
president.
The Lions or something like that? No.
Yeah, the Eagles is Nigeria, right?
Nigeria.
Nigeria.
Super
Nigeria.
Eagles.
Super Eagles.
Super Eagles is Nigeria. Was the Cameroons?
Indomitable Lions.
Lions,
Yeah, man. I would. You know, Pele said that a African nation would win the World Cup before. I think he said the year 2000. Well, that's come and gone. But I think that Cameroon for
Come
me.
on, Pele. That was a terrible prediction.
For me, the indomitable Lions winning would be a huge stepping stone.
I remember that shirt that they wore with the claw. Do you remember the
Yeah.
shirt?
Yeah.
Cameroon claw. That was listen, people, anybody who's watching the program, I'm extra large. Send me a shirt.
Oh, another thing, Crystal, that you will see in those tournaments is very tight-fitting shirts. I don't know why they do
Really?
this in AFCON.
Well,
They wear them really tight.
Yeah.
No
Is it a
nothing.
is it a
Like
Puma
proper-
thing though? Because a Puma.
Yeah,
like, I
Puma.
remember Senegal's shirt last 2019.
Yeah.
That was like tight.
yeah, man.
Devin
Yeah,
Lindsay,
you
man.
have an Africa
Canada.
Cup of Nations body, not just a summer body, Robo.
That's why I'm asking for this extra large. And it'd probably still be tight on me.
Well,
Yeah, I
one
like
thing we do know, they'll be very, very fit.
Yeah.
They'll run all
Yeah.
day long. Definitely. They run all day long. And that's what's going to kill England when they reach for the World Cup. The heat is going to murder them.
Yeah, crazy.
Devin Lindsay, you're on the wrong planet. He says that, what's that? Get a QPR shirt. Told you to say to get a QPR shirt. Devon reckons that Canada is going to win AFCON. He's in the
Oh,
wrong neck
yeah,
of the woods.
that's a possibility too.
No, that can't work. That can't work. That cannot work. Well, Ernie, so you reckon Cameroon's Edu? Who would you want to win Africa Cup of Nations? One team and one team only. Let's go.
I would like Kenya, but you know, that's what I would like, but they're not in it. So,
Well.
I think I'll
rugby.
I'll go. Yeah, there's rugby. Yeah, I mean that's a possibility.
Rugby.
I probably will go with the dark horses. I think I will also go with Cameroon, just because I think they haven't lost in Yaoundé, where the final will be since 1988. So there's something there, you know. Sometimes you know the story, you know, it's just all about the story. If they make it, I just hope they can, you know. And also, it would be a nice romantic story because Samuel Eto'o is now the head of the FA there. He was a big star, so I think it would be a nice story. And they've hosted it against all adversity, COVID, and all these things. The world was against them; they were trying to cancel it. I think Cameroon would be good if it came home. Football is coming home.
Get out of that club. Taloa, what do you think? Who do you think are your likely winners of the Cup of Nations?
I'm going with Mane. It was heartbreaking the way they lost that final last time around. So I would love for them to go over the distance and actually just take it home. I watched a documentary. I'm not sure if you guys watched the Mane documentary about his upbringing and how he came into football, his journey to football, and that just gave me chills, and that actually drew me closer to who he is as a player. And for that reason, I would just love to see him uplift his nation once more. Because you can just imagine the party in Senegal. When he won the Champions League of Liverpool, winning the league, and for him to lift the trophy, the AFCON, that being one of the best trophies to lift in world football, that would just be magical. So I would love to see Mane Senegal win it.
Devin Lindsay said Zaha's going to light up everyone. Why? He's got a chance.
You know, if we was to sit here and go through the players and go through the players,
are bad.
Some serious players is going to be on view there, you know.
Yeah.
And
I mean, the challenges are mean, Robbo. He's not just I see that
they're going hard.
But there's VAR now this year. I think there's VAR throughout. Last year it was only I think from the quarters of the semis. But there's VAR now. So
that's going to be a joke.
I know.
Is that guy in the bow tie going to be commentating?
Yeah, it got crazy. I think I'm like there's obviously two for Senegal. I would love to see Senegal win, obviously, because Mane missed out, and Mane's had so many international disappointments, and he nearly done it 2019. It was, as Edu said, the defense of Algeria. I mean, they got that goal and they just shot. Mane was going hammer and tongue, and he plays down the middle for Senegal. It was a different type of Sadio Mane than what you see in the Premiership. He played as a number 9, down the center. He is one of their most important players. But this time around, they've got obviously a goalkeeper who's probably right now on form the best goalkeeper in the Premier League at Chelsea. So he's there. But I think that's a team of superstars. But I don't think you can write off Nigeria, man. They've been knocking around for a little while. And it is a team of individuals, but they've got a big team of talented footballers. So normally these teams come together and they don't win anything when it's all talent. But in Iniacho, Samuel Chukwueze, and when you watch that guy tore off Manchester United's head in the Champions League, not Champions League, the
Europa League.
What's it like a Thursday night football cup?
You used to playing quite regular.
Yeah, that
one. Victor Osimhen. I think Victor, this guy. I mean, you've seen him before. You've seen him, Eric. He went to Napoli. 70 million euros, and people laughed. I'm telling you, this guy looks like the next Didier Drogba. He's going to be leading the line for Nigeria. Nigeria's got a very strong team, but as we all know, individuals might not always win, and it might just be a team. But I would like to say Super Eagles.
Yeah, the expectations are high for Nigeria with all those players They sacked a manager. They have a new manager. They've got numbers. If you look at that midfield, the forwards, I mean, this guy Leicester.
Is it Ndidi's holding the middle for them?
Iheanacho, forward line. I mean, there's everything for them. Now they have to win it this year. There's too much pressure on them still.
They usually blow up, though, didn't they?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They haven't seen that trophy. They haven't sniffed that trophy, but for a little while. But it could be their time. Could be Nigeria's time.
Big up to Tony, the entertainer. I know he's off to work. He's a man who works night time. So big up to Tony, the entertainer. He looks like he's on his way to work now. And Patrick Tapping as well.
Tapping is tapped in.
He's just tapping. Good evening, all, and Ernie, like I'm some outcast.
Special needs guy.
You know what I'm saying?
Disrespect.
Little full team get bossed up yesterday by Chelsea.
Which little football team you're talking about?
The Sainsbury's, who down at the Sainsbury's car park. Yeah, that team from around there. Yeah, you know what I mean?
You got to stop this now. You got to put some respect on Antonio Conte's name, man.
Yeah, I'm not saying nothing about his name. I'm talking about the full team that he supports. I don't involve the manager in that. The full team that he supports.
People, drop your comments. We've just gone nearly up to an hour. We have a few, a little bit more to go. I mean, Cup of Nations is obviously the swing. If you have a player that's like Liverpool, we have 3 players that could be running all the way right up to the end of the month in Cup of Nations. There's a few teams that are going to be missing players.
Well, you've managed to get one game cancelled already.
We didn't manage to cancel it. Omicron cancelled it.
Huh? Yeah, that's what you lot say,
Robert, because your managers are fed. That's why.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Campaigning for the vaccine. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, you know what I mean. I don't want my players going.
Yeah, I'm not signing anyone.
Your German accent anyway.
All right, get out of here.
You get it? Okay. If you don't get it, forget about it.
Right. You don't have the vaccine, forget about it. Yeah? That's what he said. You get it? You don't forget about it. But I mean, Liverpool's going to be missing Mane and Salah, but they could be coming home early though. Eric, could be.
Oh,
Salah, Egypt, nice and home early.
you think so?
No, I'm saying they could. They'll get out the group. I think those guys will get out the group, but there's going to be a lot of man who's going to be sweating because their players are away. You know what I mean? Leicester sweating, Liverpool sweating, Chelsea sweating,
Arsenal.
Arsenal, no party.
I think we'll miss Partey, but in terms of Aubameyang, I think it's safe to say that Arsenal, for the time being, look good without him. So he's hardly a huge miss at the moment. No disrespect to the club captain, but I think out of the two, and Nicola Pepe as well. Nicola Pepe just spends his days on the bench. Not something I would agree with. But, Mikel Arteta is the manager. But, yeah, I think the only real obvious miss there for Arsenal is Thomas Partey, because the midfield right now is just completely diluted. It's looking bleak. Also with Maitland-Niles making his loan move over to Roma with Marino. So I think it's definitely Thomas Partey that's the miss of the 3 players.
That's something I want to pick up on. Tammy Abrams at Roma.
Lovely.
Scored 12 goals.
Lovely.
And he cost them how much? About 24 million.
Lovely.
Lukaku, 95 million and scored 3.
Thing is, Tammy Abraham has always been a guy that can deliver. You've seen that from his youth days. Every competition that he's played in at youth level. And there was a time where he broke through, having gone out on loan. I believe it was at Aston Villa before solidifying himself in the starting 11 at Chelsea, where people were crucifying him because he was given the number 9 shirt. And of course, he had to go out there and prove himself. And he was doing that. And unfortunately, ended up picking up an injury. I think if my memory served me well, that's when they being Frank Lampard, starting to play Olivier Giroud, gradually. So it wasn't a case of Tammy Abraham don't have the talent. The talent
guy.
always been there. And he can deliver on his day for sure. So I'm not surprised that he's gone over to a new league, new language, new culture, and he's delivering because he's had to prove himself at Chelsea, especially when they gave him the number 9 jersey, and I think he did exactly that. So he's a tidy player.
He could have played for Is it Nigeria? Could have played for?
Yeah.
He could have played for, and he chose England. Another shocking decision.
Yeah. There's always reasons for that, isn't there?
Yeah,
There's
but
I
can't.
Ernie, I'm not buying that. You know why? Because for a man who stood in the grounds behind the goal at the 1966 World Cup when England won.
Wembley. Show me in Wembley.
That's you England fan, right? If England had came to you when you was playing down at Constantine, and they said to you, "Listen, mate, under 18s, under 19s. Come on, Ernie.
Yeah,
You're telling me, you tell him no.
Was no Jamaica.
No, my dad wants me to. My dad wants me to play. My dad wants me to play for Jamaica. I can't go.
Well, there was no Jamaica FA. There was no Jamaica football.
Yeah, Jamaica had a football team. They had
in 1966.
No, I'm talking about after 66, because that was your first football experience, as you told us eloquently. But you're telling me, if they came to you in the 70s, you would have turned around and said, "No, I'm not going to play for England. I'm waiting for the boat, the boat to take me back to Jamaica." You would do that. You'd have played for England.
It depends how much they were offering.
Repatriation
Robo.
FC.
You know what I mean?
Robo, is this story true? Because you've told it so many times, and I don't even know.
And he was the one who come up there telling everybody, say he had the best left foot in Northwest London, and he sat behind the goal at the '96 World Cup.
Robo,
Did you really?
I sat behind the goal when Manchester United beat Wimbledon.
Sorry. The goal was
when we beat Liverpool.
Sorry, I got the goal thing.
Cantona came back after his suspension.
All right, I got the goal thing wrong. But tell me, Ernie, did you throw a dance after England won the World Cup?
No, I was only 10. I couldn't. They wouldn't let me
Did
throw
dance keep outside your yard?
Oh yeah, we had a street dance. We had a street party.
Close.
We had a street party. It
Street
wasn't
party,
mine.
sound system string up.
It was my mate Mick who lived up the road and supported Fulham.
Trying to pass it on to Mick. But Ernie, seriously, if England had came to you, if you were 16 years old and they said, look, the scouts, they looked at you and they thought, okay, we'll look at you under 16, under 17. You're not going to turn around and say, no, I'm waiting for the Jamaica FA to pick.
No, but that's a different time now, Robbo.
No, but you wouldn't do it now.
I would. What? Are you mad? Of course I would.
If you were 16
now,
hang on, if you're 16 schoolboys and they picked you for England schoolboys, you would say no.
I'll just go and play for Jamaica.
There's
no
schoolboys.
They ain't got under 16 schoolboys.
There you go. So if you had your chance to play international football.
If I had the chance to play international football, these current times here, and I'm Raheem Sterling's age, and they say England or Jamaica, I'm going Jamaica.
But probably if you're Raheem Sterling's age, like Mikel Antonio. No, but I'm saying if you're probably Raheem Sterling's age, you're in your mid-20s, and you haven't quite made it like in the youth level at England, and you'd probably have to be forced to play football at, for your parents' country or what have you. I can understand that. But I'm saying if they came to you, they came to Raheem when he was like 16.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like he
yeah, but I'm talking. All right. And what about what's his name? Tammy.
Couldn't tell you
Same
about
way
Tammy.
Zaha played for England and then decided, you know what, I'm playing for Ivory Coast.
Yeah, but he started at England.
Circumstance, Daddy Ernie, why Zaha made it because during that time
to pick him.
No, but also I'm talking about the circumstances surrounding Zaha when he was at Manchester United and the treatment that he was receiving outside of the club, him being made to his image you can fairly say that his image when he went to Manchester United, it was tarnished. Not saying that Manchester United tarnished his image, but there was so many different stories going around that, for example, he's allegedly with David Moyes' daughter and so on. Yes. So do you think he looked at it and said that the way he's being portrayed in the media and the fact that no one who's at the top is backing him, it makes sense for him to go and play for his motherland?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just like Sterling when they had a go at him for having the gun on his on the side there. I mean, you know, he could have turned around and said, "Yeah, well, I'm out of here. I'm not having no more of this," but he didn't.
Yeah, but
You know what I'm saying?
that gun on his leg was at they were preparing for the World Cup, bro.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
you're gonna leave and just say, I'm going to sod that. I'm going to play for Jamaica. I'm going to go and play football in you know what I mean? In Matches
I
Lane.
think,
You're
I
not
mean,
gonna
you know,
earn it,
maybe, you know, Adu and and where's your name gone? Why is he taking your name down, Eric? Why you? You're taking mine down. Oh, all right. I mean,
we know you're Ernie, though. We know you're Ernie.
Is there any greater accolade for an African player to represent an African country? Edu and Eric, is there any greater accolade?
Yeah, playing for Liverpool.
Nah.
Oh my God.
No,
Please.
honestly, I mean, I think the love you get from the home fans is different. I know a lot of players who've picked England or other like Germany or those kind of Western countries. You do get celebrated, but the love you get from your own people, especially if you're getting closer to lifting that cup, and these people you understand, people you can engage with, people you grew up with, people you have share commonalities with. I think there's the difference there. Because I'll give you a good example. A good friend of mine, Yannick Bolasie. Bolasie, while playing, he also tried to meddle with England a bit, but they weren't really having him. Yeah, so he went to play for Congo. And when he's with the Congolese team, when you watch his stories and things, he's a totally different person. I mean, but when he was around the England camp, he was so robotic, so stiff, and he couldn't even be himself. So I don't think there's any other greater honor than playing for your country. I mean, I'm 5,000 miles away and I've got the Kenyan flag. So that tells you something.
Well, your friend Paul Pogba decided to play for France, Ernie, and his brother, Florentine, plays for Guinea, and he's representing at the Africa Cup of Nations.
Well, what is but Guinea's a French colony, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I don't say that out of my mouth. Guinea is Guinea.
Okay,
but
yes,
just
like England, just like Jamaica's a little bit of an English colony as well, neatly. You know what I mean?
So Paul's played for France, and his brother is his brother captain of Guinea. Eric,
I'm not sure. I have to confirm that.
Okay.
Well, at least we don't hear too much about his brother. We hear a lot about him, and he ain't really delivering, is he?
We hear a lot about him, but he's away on holiday. We're having a holiday.
That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? The most important thing for Pogba, as far as I can see, is he's there. You know what I mean?
He's been injured, Ernie.
You're harsh, Ernie. You're harsh.
Listen,
Is he not the glue to your team, though?
No. Well, I'm not sure. For £89 million, I can't remember a game that he's delivered £89 million worth.
But we paid
down to. Sorry,
80 million for a fridge. We paid 80 million for a fridge, and we're not pointing fingers.
You paid 50 million for one. You paid 50 million for one Basaka, so it's only 30 million more.
Well, no, one Basaka's all right. One Basaka's all right. He just can't. He's got everything apart from getting down the wing and cross the ball. That's
all right. So basically, everything. He's
got everything up until the corner of the penalty area, then he can't get the ball across. But nobody can't run past him. Nobody.
Yeah, but Ernie,
everyone.
But this is the problem we have at United. It's looking like when you sign for United, you have arrived and you've reached and you're a big star without earning it. Because this guy was Crystal Palace Player of the Year once. He was promoted from the youth team, and we are paying 50 million for and the scouting team claimed that they looked at over 400 right backs before they got to him. So the infrastructure United needs, I think we need to rip it all up and start again.
Well, no, I like Wan-Bissaka. The one who I hate, I hate, right?
Is who?
You lot know who I hate. The Titanic should not have been allowed on a motorway heading towards Manchester, let alone being in the club. He's the worst centre-half I've ever seen at United, and I've seen some centre-halves. I can remember Folks and all them Monday. You know what I mean?
You know a play shit when he leaves a team and they do better without him.
And he's the captain. Oh, my God. Right.
So, Robo,
yes, sir.
Just to confirm, Pogba's brother plays for Guinea, but he's not going to AFCON right now. He's injured.
Oh, he's like his brother.
It's both of
Oh,
them.
it's a family thing.
So, yeah, it's just
They must have gone to a dance, one of Robo's dances together.
And they must have slipped on the same Guinness bottle.
They don't drink. They're
They must have
Muslim.
been doing the same dance at the same time.
They're Muslim. They don't drink.
Boy, what? Yeah, now, if he comes back, I'm hearing rumors that he might sign a new contract.
$500,000, man.
Yeah,
That's a lot of money.
because he's going to be the most highly paid midfield player in the Premiership. He
Is
has
the contract on? Is it the contract? I hear the contract's on the table just for him to sign. It's like, come and sign this, £400,000 a week, and it's sitting on the table.
375,000.
I saw 500,000.
400,000 early.
I think it's 500 with
It's
benefits and all.
500. Yeah.
All right, well,
I
let's
think
have
it
a
amounts to
check.
500 because of
Yeah, I
benefits
don't think-
and
I
endorsements.
don't think that's a good deal for either parties. Look, Pogba's been there now for 5 years, from 2016. They've not won the league. They've not won the Champions League. This is the last big contract Pogba is signing. He wants to, as far as he wants money, he wants to win the Champions League and the Premier League or La Liga or league titles. I do think Man United should not pay all that money. They should invest somewhere else, and Pogba should go somewhere else where he can win a lot of things. Smiths are winning a lot of
Yeah,
stuff.
but this is your problem. You're gonna have to sell him, or he walks away for
free.
Here, watch my lips. Free.
That's a bigger loss.
Again, you went for free last time.
Yo, 400 grand. You pay the 400 grand, keep him for a year, sell him on, or you sell him now. And obviously, clubs know that he's only got a year on his contract.
Yeah. Barcelona call him.
No, he
Madrid call
leaving
him.
the end. Well, he's got less than that. The end of the season.
Yeah.
He-
There
At the
you
end
go.
of the
He
season,
walks
it's
away
done.
for free.
Actually, he can talk to clubs now. In
yeah.
this year, he can talk to clubs outside of the UK. He can talk to clubs. So
Robo, you
thing
need to
is,
tell
like-
Klopp to save Pogba.
Pardon?
You need to tell Klopp to save Pogba.
To sign him.
Yeah, for free, man.
Oh, if he comes on
Oh
a
no,
free.
he could never do nothing like that. They will hunt him down. They could never.
Paul's
People,
done it.
football fans in this country love football more than their own family. Paul Pogba could never do
He
something
could come to
like
Liverpool.
that.
You know, they say he could come and do a job at me club. Me club.
Could never go to
he
Liverpool.
would.
Paul Ince went to Paul Ince.
Paul Ince is come on.
Yeah, but
Robo,
Paul Ince
really?
came from Manchester United, club legend and all that. In me club, and he came to Liverpool and played nice, very nice.
Thing is, like, people dislike Paul Pogba as it is, and now it's even more amplified because back then, in the likes of Paul Ince's times, they didn't have social media, so you couldn't measure the hatred that he received. Even if he sits down and speak to you about it face to face, you still can't measure it. But with social media, you can measure the hatred that someone like Paul Pogba receives, and a lot of it is fed through the media. The way
But
they
equally, you can measure the love from the fans who do like Paul Pogba.
Yeah.
Paul Pogba generates hits, man. He's
Yeah.
those shirts.
But Paul Pogba going to the most hated club for Manchester United fans, that being Liverpool.
Well,
He
as I
could
said,
never
we had a knockoff Paul. We had Paul Ince. We can do it again. Why not?
can't do it. It cannot be done for his own
can be
safety.
done.
That can't. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying for your own safety, I wouldn't even dream of doing something like that. It's just no. It's not. It's not something that should be done. If he wants to leave, then you just go elsewhere outside of the Premier League, but not to sign for Liverpool. No.
What do you say? Forget
That
about
You
it.
get
looks
it?
okay.
If you don't get it, forget about it.
Forget about
But-
that.
You get it?
But,
If you don't get it, forget about it.
yo, Crystal, do you think the disrespect Pogba gets is similar to how Aubameyang has been treated as well? Because it's the flashy cars, he's always smiling, even when he's not playing really well.
Excuse me, guys.
It's kinda
What is
like
a flashy car? Because
It's-
I keep
it's
hearing them
the
pundits on the TV. He drives
It's
a
the
flashy
language.
car.
It's the
It's the
language.
language
What a
that's
flashy car.
used. Yeah. It's the language that's used, and we know the reason why our players are spoken about with certain tone of language. Like it's blatant racism. It's not one that we can shy away from or sugarcoat it. You just call it what it is. You call a spade a spade. That's what it is with Paul Pogba. And you saw some, I believe it might have been last year or the year before, where Raheem Sterling had to speak up for his club mate, that being Tosin Adebayo, if I hope I pronounced his name right, and it was because the media were doing what they did to Tosin, what they had done to someone like Raheem Sterling. Again, the use of the language, flashy cars. Why does it have to be a flashy car? Why could it not just be a case of it's just a car? We like nice things. There's no denying that. Black people, we love nice things. We love jewelry. It's not bling bling. It's just simple jewelry. That's just part of our culture. It's part of our upbringing. But of course, when you don't have a diversified media team, people are going to be made to come up with these silly little stories with their racial undertones because they don't.
Would you say that Jack Grealish has a flashy hairstyle? Because obviously his hair is loud, but I don't call it flashy.
To Paul Pogba's, it's no different. But Paul Pogba gets stigmatized for a very clear reason.
Yeah, Phil Foden, but I'm just saying we don't. I don't know about you guys. I don't see it as flashy. I just think he's got long hair, he's got short hair, he's got blonde hair. But they say if you get rid of that bloody hairstyle.
I don't see color, Robo. I don't see color. Sorry, I don't see color.
Sorry, I don't see color. I don't see my mic next door. They say it's like here. When players got cane roll, they still call it a haircut. I don't get it. But they do need help. You're right, Chris.
Robo, David Beckham had every hairstyle under the sun, and he never got the same flack as some of these people who just literally are just living their basic lives, honestly.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think the Lukaku thing was thrown out of proportion to cover up your man there who was holding a dance with Phil Foden. The same Grealish, when you look at it,
we never heard nothing about that, did we?
Exactly, but the Lukaku thing came in. I mean, it's just the games are just. It's just.
Ernie, what do you think about Patrick Tappin's comment there?
No, well, Patrick Tappin, I know Patrick Tappin from a long time.
No, but what do you think about it? But
I expect to hear that rubbish about Pogba from people. He can't compare me with Simon Jordan, that's for sure. Robbo, our friend Don Robbie, right? From AFTV slaughtered Simon Jordan. You know what I mean? So you can't compare me with him, right? I'm saying that, all right, well, who agrees with me? As Paul Pogba earned the right £89 million transfer as he
didn't set the fee. Let's leave the fee out of it.
Yeah, I think
right, as he's gone.
As a United fan, I think he has. And here are my points. Being played in a country that you're not liked, the mental health of these footballers is very important, because if you go into a job that you don't like, a manager who you don't like, remember how Mourinho was treating him, and also playing in a position that is not his preferred position, and still managed to get us 3 cups. I think he's earned it. And being United DNA through and through, youth, courage, and success. Yes.
I can't.
Come on, Simon Jordan.
I'm trying to remember. I am trying to remember a game that I could say, yeah, Paul Pogba took it by the scruff and dragged us.
Man City.
Did he not do that at the start of this season, though?
He did, and then you moved him. And then we moved him from his preferred position. He was about to break the assist record. And he wasn't even in the team. He wasn't even player of the month. He was in the team of the month, like literally. Everything he does is just shunned. So if you look, get away from media and what the media say. Look at Paul Pogba and the person he is. And I think I'll be like Paul Pogba and Martial. Rashford had the best days of his life when he was playing next to Martial. And then when these players come out and these people look disjointed, and then we start blaming individuals because these guys have been carrying us. That's why when they go away, we start picking fingers. Yeah, Rashford is not good enough, but he was playing better with Martial. So some people make others better while others don't. And these players, I think, do that when they come into a team.
So what you think that you'll say that Pogba should stay then?
I'm on the fence here, because I would like him to stay, but for his sanity and all the hate and all these things he's getting, I would dip, because the club has let him down by signing mediocre footballers, playing him in position that he doesn't want to play in, and always making him the scapegoat for everything when anything goes wrong. So I think on those, for my mental health, if I was Pogba, I'll be like, leave, but I'll love him to stay. But I just think I have to look at the guy and his family and his mental state and just the amount of stupidity he gets from this club. I mean, he can't do anything right. So I would leave if I was him.
I remember the bullying that they dished out to Mario Balotelli. Unbelievable.
That was Manchester City.
It's Manchester.
Manchester City was the whole football. Football.
Why always me?
Media.
Why always me?
Yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't Manchester City. I mean, Manchester City were fine with him. It was the whole the wider football media, and it was just allowed. It was just constant, and it was, him doing things that other players have done at his age. It was and they were using words like he's stupid. That's one of the words I detest. Like, to call anyone stupid is like, I mean, there's other words you can use if someone's not, people acting a certain way, but to call someone stupid who's
idiot.
Yeah, like that, and they, you see that when certain players make tackles, they'll call them stupid. The other, that was a bad challenge.
Yeah,
and that Mario Balotelli was in recent time that was bullying to the highest order, and it didn't do nothing for his mental health. You see what happened to him. People prey on these young footballers.
Who's the Arsenal player who's now not doing very well because of his mental health? He was bullied, Robo.
Was it the defender?
Yeah, the defender.
The guy, Taloa, your guy, the young defender that left. He's gone somewhere. I don't know if he's back at the club.
When did he leave?
We're talking about recent. You're talking about recently, right?
Yeah, I mean,
recently,
it's happening till today.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't dispute that. I think mental health is something that's always going to be a cause of concern in football. I'm just trying to think of the defender that you're referring to.
He's a young guy he was just at the club for a brief time, but they were haranguing him. Yeah, Ibue. Oh my God.
It was Ibue.
That was Ibue was many years ago.
Was you thinking of Ibue, DJ Edu?
No.
Yeah. I was thinking of
Ibue.
Because I'm thinking recently. I'm like,
not recently.
That had to leave the club. But I don't know if it was bullying. But I know that he wasn't having the best of time at the football club. Can't remember his name.
What color is he? What does he look like? What position is he?
A black man. A black man. It's a black man.
Like even Drogba was getting it, and Drogba was getting it because he married his high school sweethearts, and that most of the footballers, once you get the little bit of money, you get you're gonna get the blue-eyed blonde. This is always what happens. And then when you get the blue-eyed blonde, when they're fed up with you, the money stays in this country. Even if you go back to Africa, you still have to leave half your money here. It's an investment strategy. So, I know Drogba had the hospital scandal and everything, but it had nothing to do with him. But how the media portrayed it, it was like he was conning investors. So, I mean, it's everywhere, and I'm just so fed up with it, man.
Ernie, Patrick Chapman says every argument is about how much Pogba cost. How often do you hear the comment regarding the price of any player, apart from Paul Pogba?
No, well, I always said that what's his name weren't worth 100 million to go to City. I always said that Kane weren't worth 150 million to go to Manchester City. You know what I mean? Coutinho weren't worth 150 million to go to Barcelona. You know what I'm saying? I don't think. Listen, when a man is paying. Forget 150 million, right? When you've seen the caliber of players that I've had the privilege to see, right, as a youth growing up, how much would somebody like Pele be worth in these times? And you're paying 89 million and 150 million. How much?
Okay. Football has changed, though, Annie. It's different times.
No, but when I look at it, that's how I look at it. You know what I mean? I look at that idiot, the Titanic. How much would somebody like Franz Beckenbauer be worth?
But I think according to their time, they were priced then. It's just this football has changed, and I think
inflation.
There's an inflation. Obviously, it has to go over. And what's happening here is, remember when Italy was doing the same thing, and they're buying the biggest ballers and everything went tits tits up, you know. So I think it will take that to happen. But with COVID and everything, I think people don't have money. I think we were discussing Robo earlier. I don't think people have the money to start splashing there. That 100 million mark is not going to be.
No, it's not going to hit. We're not hitting that 100. If even someone came in to buy Mo Salah, they're not breaking 100 million for Mo Salah. It'd probably be in the 90s, but 100 million again for the next 3-4 years, can't see it. Even Haaland, I don't think there's this talk like 120 million. Where? Who's paying? Well, your guy Edwards is gone. Your guy's Edwards is gone early, so we don't have a clown that will pay 120 million. But who's going to pay 120 million right now for Haaland? Why would you do it?
No, 60. He's got a break clause in it, so all you got to do is got a pound over the break clause, and you're in. And then the bidding starts.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yes, I see what you did there, Daddy Ernie. Nice.
A nice one, Annie.
That's what somebody
Nice,
done.
Daddy
I know. Yeah, somebody done that. Been a penny more.
But I mean, but this is what I say. I'll ask Ernie. Like, for example, I was listening to some bloggers, and they were saying that what's his name? This Portuguese guy, meaty footballer that we have at number 10.
Bruno.
Yeah, apparently Fernandes has done more for United than Pogba. Would you agree?
What? How?
Because you see that the people who are watching football and who are commentating on it, other than the people who are on TV, are kids who are going with FIFA stats. And GA has become so important, and people are like, so I was like, what has Bruno done or achieved for Manchester United? And that's and it's because we had a weak manager and we had no structure and no style of play. We have been put into different camps where you now support your favorite player, the one you like, as opposed to really tearing down the whole rotten egg. I mean, the fish rots from the head. This fish is rotten from the head. And then we are going at our players. It's very, I think it's really sad. This club, Solskjaer really did mess us up. I think it's much worse than we envisaged, because this is all remnants of his doing.
Well, Ernie was happy to have him here until. Would you say, Ernie? What was your line about?
Until we lost to Watford.
Yeah. Things can carry on.
That was the final nail in the coffin. What do you reckon in this new guy then, DJ Eddie? You haven't spoken about this new guy, because Arteta was in the same boat and he's kind of steered the ship and he's leveling up now. What do you reckon about this new guy? Because this system, he's got 4-2-2-2-2. What's that about?
I think this could be two ways. I look at it as, obviously he knows what he's doing, but there's a lot. It looks like, even if you look at the touchline, it looks like there's still a lot of interference from the old guard, because Fletcher is always barking out orders on the line, on the sidelines, and you're like, who's in charge here? Mike Phelan is still there, just chilling. We don't know what he's doing. It almost looks like there's certain players who, in their contracts, have terms and conditions that they should be picked and should be played. Either that, or he wants to expose these footballers and for people to see that they're really that bad, so that when they're dropped, no one complains. Because I know Rashford fanboys are now turning on him and like, yeah, right, boy's meaty, he's not that good, he's not this, blah blah blah. So I think unless he's trying to expose those footballers, because when you come into a new environment, you can't just shake things up, because if that flops, you can't go back, because you look like you've messed up. So I think he, as being a football tactician and all these things, and remember, he's only going to be there for 6 months. He doesn't want to shake up things so much that he leaves it more broken than it is. And it is a broken system. It is very broken in that club. And when he moves up, at least he will know what is going on downstairs, and he can have a better oversight of what to shift and change. But I do trust him. I think he is doing his thing. And after 5 games, I don't think you can judge someone. and Oli was given 3.5 years to mess up the club, and no one was saying anything. And all these Oli sexuals are still missing him. They're like, oh, we miss Oli. You know, it's a weird one. But I just think after 5-6 games, you can't expect him to change anything. We were playing shit before. Our football was horrendous. It was a horrendous football we were playing.
And what now?
What now? I think we need to expose those footballers who have gotten too much power from being mediocre and the English tax. I think that's where the biggest problem is with the English footballers who have won nothing.
The thing is, DJ Edo, at this point of the season, what good are you going to gain by exposing said footballers, especially again tapping on the issues around mental health and the possibility and the long-lasting impact that can have on a single player or as a collective unit? Because at the moment, if you look back at Manchester United last game, there's an image going around on social media where the only player that looked up for it was, oddly enough for some people, Phil Jones. And maybe you could argue that the reason why Phil Jones was up for the task is, one, he has a point to prove and he hasn't been around that whole toxic environment at full length. You look at some of the key players, guys who are like senior players who should be dragging the team, whether it be your captain on the day, David De Gea, for example, Marcus Rashford, young players like Mason Greenwood, they're all basically singing from the same hymn sheet. Their body language speaks volumes. I'm just wondering if you're going into a club, whether you're there for as an interim basis or a long-term basis, you don't go in and upset some of your club favorites within the dressing room, that being a player like Marcus Rashford, because that could have devastating impact. And also as well, if you're doing that, it's almost in some sense you are unintentionally airing out your dirty laundry. Who's going to want a rotten egg joining their team at this point? Like, seriously, no serious club's going to be like, yeah, I'll fancy that. I want to take your troublemaker. Nobody wants a troublemaker or someone who can't give 110%.
Newcastle.
I think there are valid points in what you are saying, but we've had a team that has been rewarding people with contracts for failure. We've rewarded a lot of failure, and the people who we are supposed to look to have not won anything. So if you're not a winner, I doubt that you have that winning mentality. And if you're looking at this guy who's had 4 relegations and he's your captain and he's arguing with people on social media telling them that, oh, we came second, because second for him is a prize. He's never been that high. And this is the guy who's selling Cristiano Ronaldo, David De Gea, Cavani, people who've won things, Pogba, people who've won things, and this is your captain, this is your talisman. That already is mental health.
Yeah.
So do you not then look at who's actually leading the ship? So the leaders, so everyone above club level, and look to your directors, look to members of your board, look to your owners, because they're the ones who are basically allowing the whole nonsense to continue. Manager after manager, head coach after head coach, you see the same culture. It reminds me of the culture at Arsenal, which is something that Mikel Arteta is trying to change at the moment. It's almost as if people are seeming to, and when I say people, I'm referring to the players seem to feel as if they are bigger than the club, which you are not. Exactly. There's no player at Manchester United that's bigger than Manchester United, but there are players that have that attitude, and you can see that because it's a comfort zone. It might be uncomfortable for them when on match days, especially when the fans are in the stadium, but it's far too comfortable for them.
It's a holiday camp, because I mean, if you look at our team, we are so disjointed. We're having vanity signings. So Ronaldo was signed for social media. How many followers do you have? And we're bringing in people with the pool of not United. It's the money. I mean, there's some people who will not play for United, but if United call me today, I'll go in because I know I get a big check, a payday, and rewarding. I mean, left back Brandon Williams is on 75 to 80,000 a week. He can't even make the Norwich team.
Jeez.
He can't make the Norwich team. That tells you. And this is somebody who we've rewarded with a contract for 70 grand. I mean, kids are getting 20, 30, 40 grand. So it's just, I think the whole system has just, the wage structure especially is just messed up. And that's why I did not want Cristiano Ronaldo to come, but he in turn has helped, restructure things, because he called out the meaty ballers. He's like, yeah, he's not good enough. You need to do this. You need to do that. And the Glazers will listen to him because they've won stuff with him, I think. And I think he also got Oli sacked. I mean, there's so many things that are falling into place now, but I just believe that this script needs to be torn all up and we start afresh.
Well, Ralph is at the wheel and I've urged all the unhappy Manchester United players to be professional. And obviously Ernie likes the cut of Ralph's jib. That's what Ralph came up. He was like, yo, just be professional. So we'll see. He could be one of your shortest appointments as a manager if things start to go really wrong. And I said this to you a couple of weeks ago, Ernie. You said that you got a lot of easy games. And I said, really? These are the worst games to have is the easy ones.
I never said we got easy games.
Remember, I said to you, you did. You said
not easy. Balls weren't easy.
No, you said you got a lot of soft games. We talked about it, and I was like,
winnable games. Winnable games.
That's the word you use. All right.
Winnable.
You did use winnable. But winnable are the worst games to have. Take it from me. I know this. Winnable games are the worst ones to run into when you're in problems, because they're the games that, when you lose them, they're highlighted so much more. When Liverpool went on a 10-game, when we lost 6 games, they were all winnable games. But they look mucky when you get beaten by Brighton at home. It's just one of those things. But we'll wait and see. Your man, Ronnie, wanted to know what time the AFCON. He just woke up. So AFCON begins this Sunday, the 9th. Cameroon face Burkina Faso in the first game, 4 p.m. And Crystal told me off air that there is no lead up to the Africa Cup of Nations. It just goes 5 minutes straight on Sky. Like 5 to 4. Yeah, we're here. We're live. So you ain't going to see none of the fancy colors and, the dressing.
No opening ceremony? Nothing?
No opening, nothing. Just open the side gate and let them boy their through and kick some ball.
Disrespect.
Yeah, that's what they do. That's what they're dealing with.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, guys.
I was speaking to a friend, Robert, before you go, and it's just like a final message to everyone, especially people who create content around African football. Why not just embrace the moment and utilize one of the biggest platforms, the leading platform on the planet, that being YouTube? You don't need the likes of Sky Sports or BBC Sports to give you coverage on African football. Do the coverage yourself. Because there is definitely people out there, keen watchers like myself, who wants to see what you guys think of African football. So utilize the platform; it's free, and you never know. Maybe you might be at the next World Cup working for some of the big names, or maybe even working for your own platform. So utilize the space.
Well done. That's very true. I second that, Crystal. We have
are we doing watch-alongs, Robbo?
We might, but the problem is I might need you to just translate some of the names because...
No, just say the number 9. The number 9 passes the number 7.
I might do like Ian Wright. The number 7. Whatever his name is. Ian Wright.
The number 7 is really dangerous. He's playing really well.
No, I can't do that. I can't embarrass myself like that. So the names, So, well, good point, Crystal. So guys, do watch out. We will be covering obviously the games as they go along. Africa Cup of Nations as it is. There's not a lead up, and that's why people are slowly getting into it. But once that tournament explodes, Bridget, you're gonna see some crazy football from some of the most talented footballers in the world, mate. Trust me.
Yeah.
And they don't play for Argentina, Brazil, or England. They play for Africa, Burkina Faso, Guinea, Mali, not Kenya,
Senegal.
Really?
Senegal, Egypt. It's going to be a crazy tournament, so people watch out for it. We'll be definitely back on it. Edu, thanks for joining us. Thanks for your insight. Course, man.
And this tournament is not so important that all the European clubs are trying to get it cancelled so their players don't go there. That's how unimportant it is.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me, though. Thank you so much, Crystal, Annie, Robbo. Appreciate it.
Yeah, we lost Eric. I don't know where Eric disappeared to, but thank you to Eric from Fan Zone. You'll be able to catch him if you're on the east side of Africa. Eric!
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here. Get out of here, man. I'm saying.
But next time, ask when you're leaving, Eric. Next time, ask. But guys, we'll be back next week. Please, if you watch the show, you can still keep hitting that like button and replay the show. Send it to your friends. Share it. What you do drives us. So whatever you do on the algorithms and the Punani rhythm and all these rhythms, it drives the show, man. It's our narrative. It's the Fixture List. We out. Peace.
Man.